Hey. All right. I'm going to be real with you all. I've been trying to record this podcast episode all stinking day long. And if you're watching the video over on YouTube, you're going to see I am not in my normal garb. I got my hair up. But literally, it has just been like one of those weeks and quite honestly months that just is flying by. Like stuff is just flying by. And so I was adamant. I'm adamant about getting this episode out. And for a couple of reasons, but number one being that I'm really striving to be consistent. And if I can't be consistent with you, then how can I expect you guys to be consistent? So here I am, it's 5:30 at night, and I literally have like less than half an hour to record this because I just sent all of my people to go and pick up dinner. So just a little background information if you don't know that much about me. I have twin boys who are 16 and a half, and we've been working on trying to get their driver's license. And when you're trying to get a driver's license in Colorado, you have to have 50 minimum hours per kid in behind the wheel training. And so that's 100 hours, just a little bit of math late there for you. And they got the bad news that they were not ready for their driver's license last week. When we went for our final instructor drive. So now we're trying to seriously cram, just like high school cramming. Like if there were cliff notes for driving, we'd be doing them. And we're trying to cram in some drive time. And so they went to pick up dinner. And hopefully, crossing our fingers, we get our license in September. Because right now, I'm telling you, the drop off at the high school is like Armageddon 2021. And it's always like that, but it just seems worse this year. And I think it's because we had like a little bit of reprieve last year with COVID, because not everybody was doing school in person. And so we got accustomed to there not being like quite as many crazy people out. So anyway, diving into this week's episode, I want to talk about free downloads and lead generators, which are the same thing. And I get a lot of questions from incoming clients and online and just people emailing me, and they're like, oh, my download isn't working. It's not generating any leads. And I don't know why. And so when you have a lead generator and it's not working, there are some specific things that could be going on that I have found with people that are unsuccessful with generating list growth. And the biggest one is that you, this is going to seem so simple when I tell you, but is that they will create a lead generator that is so long and so complicated that nobody gets past page one. Or the description of it is like, I have a 125 page ebook for you to read on blankety blank. Well, nobody's got time to read a 125 page ebook. And so it's overwhelming and it's too much. It's like you just threw up on them at a cocktail party when they introduce themselves. And what has been, a better approach or a better option for people that I have seen working both for my clients and for other people online and also myself is to give people the opportunity to have a quick win in their business. A quick win with solving their problem, specifically in their business. When I talk about from my perspective, because I'm helping people get a quick win in growing their email list, getting traction to their emails, getting emails opened, things like that. But if you had a different type of business, like say you were a coach, and you had somebody that you were working with on mindset, and they just got introduced to you, and they realized that their mindset needs some work. And it's what's holding them back and keeping them from getting to the next job, the next house, the next relationship, whatever that might be. And you can give them a quick win that they can get traction within 24 to 48 hours with your download. Your download and opt-ins will increase dramatically. Because, and not only that, but then successively, it also increases the likelihood that they're going to want to continue to learn more about you and what you offer and what your products and services are, which is really the entire point of having a free download. And so that would be like one of the things that I usually help people discover when I'm working with them is like, okay, so people have a problem. If you haven't heard that, that's people shop for solutions to their problem. If you're new to the podcast, you may not have heard that, or the show, the video, or my ACC TV show, but people are shopping for a solution. They're not shopping for what you give them. They're not shopping for ABC. They're shopping for, hey, will you fix this pain point, this problem that I have? And that could be anything from weight loss to home decor to business online to finding a new career path. It could be any of those things. But when you can come in and you can give them a quick win and show them that you know how to solve this problem because you've been in their shoes, you have the experience, you have the expertise, all of those things, you are going to be the person that stands out in their mind when they go through that process and they take your free information and your free download and they apply it to what's going on in their life. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, this totally worked. And I've tried all these other things and nothing worked. Or I've signed up for all these other emails and nothing worked. And so when you're looking at, what that free download could be, take a look at like how you solve those problems and how you could help people get some traction right away. And when you do that, that leads me to the next thing that a lot of times people aren't doing, which is they're not communicating effectively what that free download is going to do for somebody. And so I had something to come across I was doing some client research is what happened. And I had several opt-ins that popped up on different websites. And one of them was just like, I don't know, it was like, download our free 3-minute meditation. But it was like, there was nothing about what was in the meditation, what benefits of the meditation you were going to get, what the purpose of the meditation was, how long it was. There was no selling of that. And you need to create and craft messaging around your free download, just like it was a product. And people don't realize that, like, oh yeah, I probably do need to sell that because I'm trying to sell people into giving me their email address and their name. It's another transaction in your sales funnel. And so, it's just as important to create messaging and conversation around that free download as it is to have a call to action on a social media post. It's like that messaging has to imply and get people to take the next action step, which is filling out that form. And so, answering the questions, like what is it? Why does it matter? How does it help people in that landing page and giving them a reason to click, yes, I want this. And even better, the result that they're going to get if they download that and implement what you've shared with them, that's going to give you much more traction, much more likelihood that they're going to invest their information with you and know, because, those forms, those opt-ins, people are smart. They figured out there's a dime a dozen, but most people aren't communicating effectively the benefit of that download. And a lot of times, honestly, they can't communicate it effectively because they're trying to give away crap. And so I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, if your download is crap, rip it off your website, burn it in a trash can, and come up with something that's more creative and actually effective for the people that you're trying to help. And if you're just trying to accumulate email names, then you got to start back it up, because you've got to come from a place of service and of wanting to help people. And most entrepreneurs that I know, specifically those that are coming out of a corporate environment, realize it's like, oh yeah, I'm diving into this gig. I've had my corporate career and I've had success in that career and I want to have more impact. Well, you can't have more impact if you're coming from I'm just doing this for the money mindset. And so that would be the other thing, is like, don't give away crap. That should just be a given, but I'm sharing that with you because a lot of times people are like, I'm just going to throw this thing up there and hope it works. Well, it's not going to work, because if it's not something you would yourself sign up for, if you didn't know who you were or what you were doing, then that's not a good indicator of like something that other people are going to want, that are going to exchange information for. So that would be another reason. So a third reason is that you haven't done any promotion. Like, you haven't promoted it at all. I know people are like, I have this brand new free download on my website, and nobody knows it's there. You haven't done social media posts. You haven't done any paid ads. You haven't talked about it in any different groups or places that you hang out in, or that your ideal clients hang out in. You have it, like, there's a million different ways to promote this. Like if you're on a podcast, for example, or you're speaking, talk about your free download and have it be the next step to what you just talked about. And I know so many people that create really great stuff, and I've been in this position as well. And then they never share it with anybody. And so that it just sits there and it collects dust, and then it's outdated and you have to redo it. And a lot of times that is a disservice to yourself, because you've invested the time and energy to create it, and then you just didn't tell anybody about it. And let me tell you, I'm totally raising my hand on that one, because I've done it. Which leads me to another one, which I actually didn't have on here, but it kind of ties into the one that I was going to talk about next. And that is, people will do one of two things, or business owners and people that have businesses. It will either be that they will keep the same download on their website forever and a day and never change it out. And so when people come back and they want to learn more about you, they're like, I already have that free download. I got it like a year ago. Why do I want it again? Or they have way too many downloads, and people look at the downloads and they're like, I don't even know which one to choose. There's like 5 of them on here. I don't know which one's the best one. So I'm just not going to choose any of them. And having one specific lead generator going, that especially on a single page, like if you're promoting different lead generators based on different marketing activities, that's a different situation. But typically you only want to have one lead generator per webpage, or per social media post, or per social platform, because if you have all these things going on and they go to your Facebook page and you're like, click the button, and you've got like 4 different options for downloads, they're going to be like, I don't even know which one of these I want. And so I'm just not going to sign up for any of them. And then people start to wonder in the back of their mind, God, if they have so many of them, like, do they even know what they're doing? Or which one of these is actually going to help me? Or, why do they have so many? And so, creating that content that is going to be, now the exception to this would be is if you have different audiences. So let me put that exception out there. If you've got, like, say you service education, and you've got a free download for teachers, a free download for administrators, and a free download for parents. That's totally different, because that's very clear, and you can clearly delineate who would benefit from each one. Okay, so let's use the school example one more time. And so let's say you're an English teacher and you're like, okay, so I have a free download on the most used words in 5th grade. And then I have how to outline your first research paper. And then I have a free download that's on the best books to read in 5th grade. And it's just like all of those things are important for 5th grade. So let's combine those into one option and have that be a free download versus, if you were a teacher and say a 5th grade teacher and you had students that would struggle in different areas. So you might have like a math download or an English download or even a science download. Those would address certain issues in each of those different areas. And although they might apply to all students, you may just have one student that's really struggling in science. So this free download would give them a step up, and then they could move on to your science extraordinary student course, like become an extraordinary student in science. And so that would be the differentiation in having multiple downloads. But when you just have 3 that are basically the same thing or that align in the same area, just either combine it in one or promote one at a time, because it's going to get you better traction and better list growth. So we don't want to confuse our audience, because when we confuse them with a bunch of different options, they just choose none. They're just going to go somewhere else and see who else can solve our problem. And that is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see business owners and specifically consultants and coaches make in their businesses, is they try to solve all the problems at one time. And it's impossible for someone to connect and understand if you are the right solution to what they're going through when you're talking about so many different things. They're going to be like, well, I don't think they really understand what I'm going through because they have all these other things. And so we just want to be really clear about that, which leads me to the next thing that I've found with coaches and course creators and consultants is that they will set up a landing page for people to opt into that free download, but they don't optimize it. They don't set up like a headline that is really clear, that incites interest and kind of hooks people in. They don't talk about the benefits or really dive deep into, what that specific free download is going to do for that person that's signing up for it. They don't have a clear call to action. Like they're like, learn more, get it now, or download. Like, don't put you want to be really specific. Like, hit this button to get your copy, and it's fine to have download on there, but the more simple you can make it for people and the more clear you can make it for them, even if it seems so obvious to you, the more clear you can make it, the more your odds increase that they will actually click on that button, fill out their information, and get on your list. And that's really what we want. And so if we can, delineate the who, what, where, and why in that landing page and in any way that we promote things throughout our different promotional opportunities, the better. And so a lot of times we're just like, yeah, just go click this free download. And like, people are like, why do I want a free download? I don't want a free download. What I want is the solution to my problem. Whereas if you say, hey, go grab my guide that's going to help you make dinner 7 nights a week at home for under $50, or in 20 minutes or less per night, or, whatever that might be. But if you have a guide like that, like 5 recipes you can make in 20 minutes this week, for your family, for your busy family of 5 at back to school time. And so that's very solution oriented. And a lot of people don't move in that direction. They just are like, oh, here's my recipe downloads. And it's like, great. I don't need a bunch of more recipe downloads because I can go get them on the internet. I want to know why yours are different. And so I do have a bonus. I always throw a bonus into these episodes. And just to recap a couple of things that I've learned with people that are like struggling with getting people to download their free download is, number 1, we need to focus on a pain point. Number 2, we need to communicate well what the free download is going to do for people. Number 3, got to promote it, people. Got to promote it. Number 4, don't have too many options, because if you do, people just won't make a decision and they won't opt in. And number 5 is optimize that landing page so that people get really clearly in their head what they're getting, what they're signing up for, and what the expectations are. And then the bonus that I have for you is to what we have found in research. There's a couple bonuses. I'm going to put 2 of them in here because I just thought of another one. But is rather than have a form laid out, like fill out your name, fill out your address, fill out your email, all these different things, is have a button that they click and then that form pops up. And then your second bonus is limit the amount of information that you collect on that form, because your conversion rate will increase. The less forms they have to fill out, the more likely they're going to complete it and hit submit. And for some reason, rather than having a form on a page, I just imagine with me a form that is like, here's the name field, here's the email field, and then here's the button, does not perform as well as, say, a button that they click and then that form comes up. And so if you struggle with that and you don't have a website person to help you, there are some different ways you can do that depending on what platform you're on. I love Kajabi, and Kajabi makes this really easy for you to do that exact thing by setting up a button and then linking it to a form, and then you can edit the form to look and feel exactly like the rest of your website. So go check out Kajabi. I have that link below this episode if you're interested. I think right now they're running like a 60-day promo for free, or a 30-day promo for free instead of 15. But anyway, you can go check it out. I put the link below. So that's what we've got for this week. If you are struggling with any of your marketing strategy or your specifically pieces of your marketing strategy, like a free download, I just created a brand new guide, and I'd love for you to go and grab that. And It will walk you step by step through how to create a strategy for your marketing, as well as I am creating some live videos in the month of September to go along with that. There are going to actually be a lot of Q&A to go along with that guide. So you want to go grab that guide, and you can find it at lisaconnor.com/strategy. I made it real simple. So, and I'll put the link for that also in the podcast notes and below the video on YouTube. And you can go grab that guide, and it's 5 steps that get you started. And then, like I said, I'm going to be doing some live training for that over on Facebook. You'll probably be able to find it on LinkedIn too, but I don't have access to LinkedIn live video yet, so I can't do LinkedIn live training over there yet. But that's coming. I've applied, so we'll see. But look out for the training. Get the guide now so that when those trainings come out, you can follow along with the live trainings. So until next week, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that the tips shared in this episode will help you increase your subscriber count so that you can get in front of people and start to build that relationship and sell more of your services. So I'll see you next week. In the meantime, take care and be well. If you're like most entrepreneurs, you know you should be on social media, but they keep changing the dang rules. For Pete's sake, every day there's a new algorithm change. There's when you should post, when you should not post, what you should post. Should you do video? Should you do Insta stories? Should you do this? It's enough to make anybody crazy. And the worst part of all is that even if you're showing up and you have a huge audience on one of these platforms, you don't own any information about them. So when they change the rules, and you know they do, you are at their mercy. Well, what if instead you could own your audience? What if you had the power to show up in front of them, share what you want to share on your own time frame? Well, you can. In my new upcoming training, Own Your Audience, you're going to learn how to stop being at the mercy of social media moguls. Yes, social media is a great tool, but when you put all of your eggs in their basket, it's like renting an apartment with a horrible landlord who keeps changing the rent. You deserve better. You deserve to control and get in touch with your people on your terms. In the Own Your Audience training, you're going to learn the 5-step proven system that I've used with my clients for the last 20 years that gets you in front of your audience, builds conversations, builds connections, and best of yet, helps you sell your stuff. Because if you're not selling anything, it's really hard to stay in business. So join me for this free live training coming up. It is so easy for you to join and come and be part of this live training by going to lisaconnor.com/own your audience. If you're tired of fretting about the next social media change and you're sick of being at the mercy of what to do, when to post, how to post, where to be, and you just want some sanity with your marketing, join me for this upcoming live training at lisaconnor.com/own your audience. And I look forward to seeing you inside.